my beloved child. If you are still here, still breathing with these words, still allowing them to reach you instead of scrolling past, that alone speaks volumes about the depth of your soul. This moment is not happening because of chance, and it is not happening because of some surface-level idea of luck or importance. It is happening because something inside you has been restless for a long time. Your spirit has been aching for honesty, for reassurance, for something that feels solid and true in a world that often feels loud, rushed, and empty. You have been moving through your days, doing what you must do, surviving, showing up, holding yourself together. Yet inside you, there has been a quiet question that never really goes away. A question that asks, is this all there is? Is my life meant to be just an endless cycle of effort, disappointment, and trying again? And somehow, through all the noise, through all the distractions, through all the moments when you could have chosen anything else, you are here. That is not random. Most people would have passed by without a second thought. Most people would have dismissed this moment as meaningless. But the ones who are called, the ones whose hearts are awake, always feel something subtle but undeniable. You felt it when you paused. You felt it when something inside you said, wait, stay, listen. And that gentle pull, that quiet insistence, is often how God chooses to speak. Not through fear or force, not through spectacle, but through a soft inner knowing that cannot be explained, only felt. You have been carrying more than anyone realizes. To the outside world, you appear capable, composed, maybe even cheerful at times. You know how to smile when expected, how to laugh at the right moments, how to appear strong so that no one worries too much about you. But behind that exterior, there is a tiredness that goes deeper than sleep can fix. A weariness that comes from giving, and not always receiving the same care in return. You are tired of being misunderstood, of having your intentions questioned, of feeling like no matter how much effort you put in, it never quite seems to be enough. You are tired of trying to explain yourself, tired of hoping for change only to be met with more delays, tired of praying and then wondering in the silence whether those prayers are actually being heard. There have been moments when you spoke words to God, and moments when you couldn't even find the words, when all you could offer were tears, sighs, and long stares into the darkness of your room at night. And yet, every single one of those moments mattered. None of them were wasted. God heard the prayers you spoke clearly, and He also understood the prayers you didn't know how to form. He saw the tears that fell when no one else was watching. He knew the questions you asked in your heart, especially the ones that scared you, because you didn't know if it was okay to ask them. Understand this deeply. Those who are chosen are not chosen because their lives are comfortable or easy. They are chosen precisely because their lives are challenging. They are chosen because God sees a strength within them that they themselves often don't recognize. He sees a resilience that can withstand pressure without breaking completely. He knows you can carry responsibilities, emotions, and lessons that would overwhelm others. The pain you have endured was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to shape you. The heartbreaks you survived were not pointless. The seasons of loneliness, when it felt like you were walking alone while others seemed supported and understood, were not punishments. They were periods of preparation. Every door that closed forced you to grow in ways an open door never could. Every delay protected you from something that was not yet right for you. Every tear softened your heart, deepened your compassion, and expanded your capacity to understand others. Right now, it may seem as if nothing is changing on the surface. Your circumstances may look the same. Your challenges may still be present. But beneath what you can see, there is movement. In the spiritual realm, things are shifting. Connections are being arranged. Certain people are being moved out of your path because they cannot go where you are going. Other people who will recognize and value your heart are being prepared to meet you at the right time. God is not rushing this process because what He is building in you is meant to last. What is approaching your life is not insignificant. It is not something that will quietly pass by unnoticed. When it arrives, it will make sense of the waiting. It will explain the pain in a way words never could. It will show you that your perseverance mattered, that your faith was not misplaced. Some of the people who walked away from you, who underestimated you, who assumed you would always remain the same, will one day look at you with surprise. They will wonder how you became so grounded, so confident, so strong. Some of the people who doubted you will eventually see that there was a greater hand guiding your journey all along. This is not about proving anything to anyone. It is not about revenge or validation. It is about you finally understanding, in the deepest part of your being, that you were never abandoned. You were never forgotten. You were being set apart. Those who are chosen often experience loneliness because they are not designed to blend in everywhere. You may have felt different from a young age, as if you didn't quite fit into the spaces you found yourself in. You may have felt unseen, as if people only noticed parts of you, but never fully understood who you truly are. That sense of being an outsider was not a flaw. It was a sign. You were not meant to follow the same path as everyone else. You were meant to walk a road that requires courage, self-reflection, and faith. And now, you are being invited to rise to a higher level of understanding. God is calling you to release the fear that has been holding you back, to let go of the doubts that whisper that you are not enough, to silence the voices, both external and internal, that try to convince you that you are unworthy or incapable. The truth is, you are exactly as you were created to be. Your sensitivity is not weakness. Your depth is not a burden. Your ability to feel deeply is a gift. If you are still allowing these words to reach you, if something inside you is resonating rather than resisting, then yes, you are among the chosen. Not because you are flawless, not because you have never made mistakes, but because your heart remains open even after being hurt. Because your spirit is still willing to believe, even after disappointment. Because in the midst of pain, you have not completely lost hope that something better exists and that it is possible for you. Do not stop now. Do not give up when you are closer than you realize. Do not let temporary exhaustion convince you that your journey is over. The storm you have been enduring is beginning to lose its power. The clarity you have been waiting for is approaching. The breakthrough you have prayed for is drawing nearer, even if you cannot see it yet. Only a few will stay present long enough to receive this message fully, and you are one of them. Stay grounded, stay faithful, stay open. What is coming will be worth every step you took to get here. My beloved child, stay with me a little longer, because there is still more that needs to reach you, more that your soul has been ready to hear for a long time. You may not even realize how much strength it has taken for you to keep going up to this point. There were moments when quitting felt easier than continuing. when disappearing felt more peaceful than explaining yourself one more time, when silence felt safer than hope. Yet even then, something inside you refused to fully shut down. Even in your weakest moments, there was a quiet spark that said, "Just one more day, just a little longer." That spark was not random. That was God sustaining you when you didn't have the strength to sustain yourself. You have often wondered why life seems to demand so much from you, while giving you so little reassurance in return. You have watched others receive support, recognition, and ease, while you had to fight internal battles just to stay standing. And in those moments, you questioned yourself. You questioned your worth. You questioned whether you were doing something wrong, whether you were missing something everyone else seemed to understand. But the truth is, you were never meant to be measured by the same standards as everyone else. Your journey has required deeper refinement. Your calling demands greater awareness, and that is why your lessons have been more intense, your growth more internal, your victories more quiet. There were times when you felt invisible, like your efforts went unnoticed, like your kindness was taken for granted, like your presence was optional rather than valued. That kind of pain cuts deeply because it makes you doubt your own importance. But listen carefully now. Being unseen by people does not mean you are unseen by God. In fact, some of the most important transformations happen away from applause, away from validation, away from recognition. God often works in hidden places because what He is building in you must be rooted deeply before it is ever revealed outwardly. If everything had come easily, if everyone had supported you from the beginning, you might never have developed the inner strength you now carry. You have also carried guilt for things that were never your fault. You blamed yourself for relationships that failed, for situations that broke apart, for outcomes you could not control. You replayed conversations in your mind, wondering what you could have said differently, what you could have done better. But there are endings that happen not because you failed, but because the season was complete. There are people who leave not because you were unworthy, but because they were never meant to walk the full distance with you. Letting go of that guilt is part of your healing. You were never meant to carry responsibility for everything that went wrong. Right now, you may feel like you are standing in between chapters. The old version of your life no longer fits, but the new one has not fully revealed itself yet. This in-between space can feel uncomfortable, confusing, and lonely. It can make you feel like you are drifting without direction. But this space is sacred. It is where clarity is formed. It is where old identities fall away and new ones begin to take shape. Do not rush this phase. Do not judge it harshly. You are not stuck. You are transitioning. There is also something else you need to hear. The strength you have developed was never meant to isolate you forever. You are not meant to do everything alone, even though you have learned how to. God is preparing your heart not just to endure, but to receive support without suspicion, to receive love without fear, to receive blessings without guilt. This is difficult for you because you have grown used to surviving. You have learned how to rely on yourself when no one else showed up. But survival is not the final destination. It was only the training ground. Soon you will begin to notice subtle shifts, conversations that feel different, opportunities that align instead of drain you, moments of peace that come without struggle. These are signs that you are stepping into a new alignment. Do not ignore them. Do not downplay them. Allow yourself to acknowledge that something is changing. It may not be loud or dramatic at first, but it will be consistent. And consistency is how real transformation unfolds. You are also being asked to release an old habit, the habit of doubting good things when they arrive. You have been disappointed so many times that part of you expects things to fall apart. You wait for the hidden catch, the sudden loss, the unexpected reversal. This guardedness protected you once, but now it is time to soften it. Not because the world has suddenly become perfect, but because you have grown wiser. You can now discern without shutting down. You can protect yourself without closing your heart. Trust does not mean ignoring red flags. It means no longer assuming that everything good will disappear. Remember this as well. Your sensitivity is not something you need to get rid of to succeed. It is something you need to understand and honor. You feel deeply because you were designed to perceive things others miss. You notice shifts in energy, tone, intention. This awareness can feel overwhelming, but it is also a form of intelligence. When guided by faith instead of fear, it becomes one of your greatest strengths. There will come a moment when you look back at this version of yourself and realize how far you have come. You will see that the pain did not define you, but it did refine you. You will see that the waiting did not weaken you, but it taught you patience and discernment. And most importantly, you will see that even when you felt alone, you were being guided step by step. So keep going. Keep choosing honesty over pretending, growth over comfort, faith over fear. Even on days when you feel tired again, even on days when doubt tries to return, remember this: you did not come this far by accident. You are not still here by coincidence. You are here because there is more ahead of you, more life, more purpose, more peace than you have experienced so far. Stay present. Stay open. This chapter is not ending in loss. It is opening into something greater. My beloved child, let these words settle gently within you, because what comes next is meant to reach the places you rarely let anyone see. You have spent so much of your life being the one who understands, the one who adapts, the one who holds space for others, that you forgot what it feels like to be held yourself. You became strong not because you wanted to be, but because circumstances left you no other choice. You learned how to self-soothe, how to keep going even when encouragement was absent, how to silence your own needs so that life could keep moving. And while that strength carried you through many storms, it also quietly taught you to minimize your own pain. But now God is inviting you to stop doing that. Not to fall apart, but to finally acknowledge how much you have endured. There were moments when you felt betrayed, not just by people, but by life itself. Moments when you did everything right and still ended up hurt. Moments when you showed kindness and received coldness, when you offered loyalty and were met with distance. Those experiences left marks on you. They made you cautious. They made you question whether being genuine was worth the risk. And yet, despite everything, you never fully hardened. You never lost your ability to care. That is something sacred. That is something rare. Many people allow pain to turn them bitter, closed, and unfeeling. You allowed pain to deepen you, even when it scared you. You also need to understand that your delays were not denials. There were things you wanted that did not arrive when you expected them to. Opportunities that seemed perfect but slipped away. Relationships that felt promising but slowly dissolved. Dreams that felt close enough to touch but never quite materialized. Each time, You felt disappointment settle in your chest, and each time you wondered what you were doing wrong. But timing is not punishment. Sometimes what you wanted was real, but you were not yet ready to receive it without losing yourself. God was protecting not just the outcome, but your heart. You have grown in ways that are difficult to measure, not in obvious achievements or visible milestones, but in emotional maturity, self-awareness, and spiritual depth. You have learned how to sit with discomfort instead of running from it. You have learned how to listen to your intuition instead of dismissing it. You have learned how to stand alone without feeling completely empty. These are not small accomplishments. These are the kinds of lessons that prepare a person for a life that is meaningful, not just impressive. There is also a release happening within you now, even if you cannot fully articulate it yet. Old fears are loosening their grip. Old narratives about who you are and what you deserve are slowly losing their authority. You are beginning to see that you are not defined by your past mistakes, your failed attempts, or other people's inability to value you properly. You are defined by your willingness to keep your heart open in a world that often rewards numbness. And that willingness is what sets you apart. You may still have moments when doubt creeps back in. Moments when you question whether this inner growth will ever translate into external change. Moments when impatience whispers that you have waited long enough. In those moments, remind yourself that roots grow in darkness before anything appears above ground. Just because others cannot see what is happening within you does not mean it is not real. Just because progress is quiet does not mean it is insignificant. The most stable structures are built slowly, carefully, with intention. Soon you will begin to feel more aligned with yourself, less pulled in 1,000 directions, less pressured to prove your worth. You will start choosing peace over chaos, depth over distraction, truth over approval. And some people may not understand this version of you. They may feel uncomfortable when you no longer overextend, over-explain, or overgive. Let them. You are not here to be convenient. You are here to be authentic. What God is cultivating in you is not just resilience, but discernment. Not just endurance, but wisdom. You will know when to speak and when to remain silent, when to step forward and when to wait, when to open your heart and when to protect it. This balance is something you could only learn through experience, through trial, through moments when you had to figure things out on your own. As you move forward, carry this truth with you. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not failing. You are unfolding, exactly as you need to. The path you are on may not look like anyone else's, but it is uniquely yours. And it is leading you somewhere meaningful. So breathe, release the pressure you put on yourself to have everything figured out. Trust that the same presence that carried you through your darkest nights is still guiding you now. You are not finished. Your story is not over. In fact, you are only beginning to step into the life that all this preparation was for. Stay with it. Stay faithful to the quiet, knowing within you. What is ahead will meet you with understanding, peace, and a depth of fulfillment that makes every difficult step worthwhile. Amen.